One outfit at the 2025 Venice Film Festival was worth more than a Beverly Hills mansion. We're not talking about the dress. We are talking about the deals behind it. The loans, the collaborations, the security, and the jewels. This festival is not just about movies. It is a high-stakes marketplace where the red carpet is the boardroom. And we are about to expose who pays who, how much, or who doesn't, and why. The curators of style, Cate Blanchett and Amal Clooney. If the Venice Film Festival is a fashion stock exchange, then Cate Blanchett and Amal Clooney are the master traders who always make the biggest moves. They do not just wear clothes, they curate a message, and their deals are about something more valuable than money, influence and exclusivity. Cate Blanchett kicked off the festival by walking the red carpet in a stunning black Armani Privé gown with a plunging gemstone-covered neckline. But here is the secret. This was not a new dress. She'd worn it before, 3 years earlier at the 2022 SAG Awards. At first, this might seem like a simple choice, but it was a calculated power play. Blanchett is famous for re-wearing her favorite looks, and this is a huge deal for a brand like Armani. Why? Because a single Armani Privé couture gown can cost anywhere from $30,000 to over $100,000. These are not dresses you buy off the rack. They can take hundreds of hours to create by hand. So when Cate Blanchett, one of the most respected actresses in the world, chooses to wear one of their gowns twice, it sends a powerful message. It says the dress is a timeless piece of art. The Armani team loaned her the dress as part of a strategic collaboration, knowing her influence would get them global media coverage for free. It is a deal built on loyalty and a shared belief in sustainable, lasting fashion. Then there is Amal Clooney, who plays the game on a whole different level. She arrived at the premiere of J. Kelly in a magnificent fuchsia gown with a giant bubble train that stole the show. But this was not a new custom dress from a major fashion house. This was a vintage treasure. Amal, who famously styles herself, had personally hunted through the fashion archives to find this specific gown. It was from a designer named Jean-Louis Scherer from his fall 1995 couture collection. This move is known in the industry as the treasure hunt. In a world where any star can get a new dress, finding and wearing a priceless piece of history is the ultimate status symbol. While a vintage Scherer piece can sell for thousands, its real value is in its rarity. You cannot just buy it. You have to have the access and the knowledge to find it. She paired the look with millions of dollars in Harry Winston diamonds, which were, of course, on loan. And a loan like that comes with its own insane deal, involving strict security protocols, armed guards, and insurance policies worth more than most people's homes. From the curators of style, we move to the ultimate deal maker, Julia Roberts and her multi-million-dollar power play. Julia arrived at the premiere of her new film after the hunt, not just as an actress, but as a business powerhouse executing a multi-million-dollar deal on the red carpet. She wore a custom navy blue gown from Atelier Versace. Now, a custom couture gown from Versace is a serious investment. Similar dresses have taken over 600 hours to make by hand and can cost tens of thousands of dollars. But this was not just any dress. It was one of the very first gowns designed by the new creative director, Dario Vitale, who had just taken over after the legendary Donatella Versace stepped down. This was a massive moment for the brand, and they needed a global superstar to announce their new era. So, they made a deal with Julia. Her wearing this dress was a strategic launch, a global announcement that the new Versace had Hollywood's most important seal of approval. The entire operation was orchestrated by her super stylist, Elizabeth Stewart, one of the most powerful deal makers in fashion. In fact, Stewart's plan was so brilliant that just a few days later, she had another one of her clients, Amanda Seyfried, wear the exact same Versace outfit Julia had worn to a press event. It was a coordinated move to prove the new collection was not just beautiful, but versatile and sustainable. But the real heist was the jewelry. Julia was wearing over 100 carats of diamonds and sapphires from the luxury brand Chopard. Her earrings alone had over 36 carats of diamonds, and her bracelet had nearly 45 carats of sapphires. How much is that worth? A similar 100-carat Chopard necklace she wore previously was valued in the 8 figures, meaning it was worth tens of millions of dollars. This jewelry was not a gift. It was a loan, part of a meticulously managed deal. Pieces this valuable are delivered under intense security, sometimes with armed guards. They are cataloged, insured for a fortune, and kept in locked cases backstage until the very last minute. The celebrity never takes them home. For one night, Julia Roberts was wearing a king's ransom, all as part of the deal. Not all deals are about new dresses or multi-million-dollar diamonds. Some of the smartest players in Venice know that the most valuable currency is not newness, but nostalgia. They use the red carpet as a time machine to cash in on priceless memories. First up is Alicia Silverstone. 30 years after she became a global fashion icon in the movie Clueless, she showed up in Venice wearing a slinky, emerald green silk slip dress. With its plunging neckline and spaghetti straps, it looked like it was pulled straight from the 90s. This was not just a dress. It was a brilliant business move. Alicia's personal brand is forever linked to 90s fashion. Designers know that when she wears a slip dress, it is an instant media event. They get an injection of 90s cool that no marketing budget can buy, and in return, every fashion outlet talks about Alicia, reminding the world of her most iconic role. But the ultimate nostalgia deal came from Princess Diana's nieces, Eliza and Amelia Spencer. They walked the red carpet in matching tulle gowns that were a direct tribute to their famous aunt. Back in 1987, Diana wore an iconic pale blue chiffon gown by Catherine Walker to the Cannes Film Festival. The Spencer twins recreated that exact look, right down to the flowing cape, just 2 days before the 28th anniversary of Diana's death. But the deal gets even deeper. Diana's original 1987 dress was itself a tribute to a gown worn by another princess, the Hollywood star Grace Kelly, in the movie To Catch a Thief. This was a multi-generational storytelling deal. The dresses connected the Spencer sisters to 2 of the most famous princesses in history. And what is nostalgia worth in hard cash? Just a few months before her death, Princess Diana auctioned off her original 1987 gown for over $70,000. Years later, it sold again for over $132,000. Now let's mention the walking billboard, when the dress is the deal. From deals built on history, we now turn to deals that are all about pure, shameless business. This is where the red carpet becomes a live commercial, and the stars are the world's most glamorous billboards. Supermodel Heidi Klum and her daughter, Leni Klum, arrived in matching lingerie-inspired corseted gowns. Heidi wore a blush-colored version, while Leni wore one in black. The deal here was simple and direct. The dresses were custom-made by Intimissimi, an Italian lingerie brand. And who are the official brand ambassadors for Intimissimi? Heidi and Leni Klum. Intimissimi was also an official sponsor of the Venice Film Festival itself. This was the perfect marketing triangle. Heidi and Leni are paid to represent the brand. The brand pays to sponsor the festival. And the Klums show up to the festival wearing custom gowns from the brand that look like high-fashion versions of the very lingerie they sell. It is a walking, talking advertisement. And everyone knows the script. Now let's not forget to mention the invisible army. For every flawless photo on the red carpet, there is an invisible army working behind the scenes in a high-stakes operation of security and logistics. The planning for a single look begins months in advance, with stylists and brands coordinating strategies and scheduling marathon fitting sessions that can last for hours. The delivery of these priceless items is a mission in itself. The gown and the jewelry almost always travel separately, often by armored courier to minimize risk. Each piece is logged, photographed, and inspected for damage the moment it arrives at a secure, climate-controlled facility. For extremely valuable items, such as a $5 or $6 million diamond ring, armed guards might accompany the delivery and stay with the piece all night. On the day of the event, celebrities rarely travel to the venue in their full attire. Instead, they change in secure backstage areas to protect the garments from wrinkles or accidents. A dedicated team is on standby. Dress stewards handle last-minute steaming and adjustments. Jewelry is the most protected asset. It is kept in locked, vaulted cases, sometimes with an insurance representative present, until the very last moment before the celebrity steps onto the carpet. At the end of the night, the star's personal security coordinates with the jeweler's security to ensure the safe return of every single piece. And what if something goes wrong? That is where the biggest deal of all comes in: insurance. Standard policies do not cover items this valuable. Instead, brands and celebrities use specialty coverage, often called a personal articles floater policy, which can provide millions in protection. The cost is typically 1 to 2% of the jewelry's value per year. So, for a $10 million necklace, the insurance policy alone could cost up to $200,000. Every single detail is managed to protect the investment, the brand, and the star. So there you have it, the insane deals of the Venice Film Festival. We saw Cate Blanchett and Amal Clooney curate priceless exclusivity, Julia Roberts execute a multi-million-dollar power play, and Heidi and Leni Klum transform the red carpet into a walking billboard. Now, if you will excuse me, I am off to a treasure hunt for my next vintage dress. While I do that, you should hit that subscribe button for more secrets and facts from behind the red carpet.